need an admin building as well. And I actually buy 2 from the start. That road was not helpful. I buy 2 from the start. You might be able to deal with more, but the thing is, these provides the workers to do research, and it's a question how many you can actually support. And I think I found out 2 or 3 I could deal with, but when I got too many, it went absolutely pear-shaped. I'll come back to the research in a moment. So we have built these, we have built that, we have built runways and taxiways and everything. So we are kind of ready to start. There are some numbers up here, how much money you have. If they're green, you're in plus. If they're red, you're in minus. You got workflow points. That is, among other things, your research points. But it's also many things you can do at the same time in the airport and stuff like that. So that is not necessarily a bad thing to just bear in mind that there is something you need to keep an eye on. This is how many passengers there is in the airport. There's none at the moment, so no issues there. Airplanes in the airport, there's none because we haven't actually started yet. Number of operations allowed per 1 take-off landing time slot. So I can't actually show the schedule window because we haven't researched that yet. But it comes in morning, afternoon, night, pretty much, and each time slot has some different operations it can. And the more ATC towers you get, it will grow over time. So that is nothing to be concerned about. So let's go back and look at the research. It comes in airplane services, passenger services, personal, where you actually train people, construction, and office work. And each area is actually quite important. So what I've done in my games is I take 1 from here, then 1 here, then 1 here, then 1 here, even though I jumped over that a couple of times because that is not necessary and very expensive. So that has to wait for a while. And then 1 here, and then I go back and take the next 1 here I think is needed. So air traffic control is of course important. You can click on it and see that gives you, okay, it goes in night, morning, day, evening. So and everything costs money and it costs upkeep. So bear in mind your money has to balance somehow. And if it doesn't, it goes into the red. You can borrow money, but that's very expensive. So you're better off not doing it. But if you need for a boost for something you have to construct, yeah, then that's fine. So I'm always tempted to take this first. However, I actually found out taking the large fuel and the reinforced loading is kind of more important. So I actually take the air cargo warehouse first, and it take 1 day and so 23 hours. So that's roughly 2 days. And that's because I put the time down to 1 month at a time. But I rather want to go slow and actually do things in the proper tempo than I have everything and I try to build it and I lose a lot of money because it gets more and more expensive and I don't have the income to actually cover it. So you can experiment with your own game, but I just want to warn that it can be a little bit hairy if you don't take some care. So